I like to give him a hard time sometimes, but when he does nail it, he does nail it, right?
This is crazy. Watch this.
Okay, so this is the other day. He says, breaking, Alex Jones says a TSA whistleblower has told him that the TSA employees were instructed on Tuesday that masks are coming back by October for travelers and full COVID restrictions lockdowns by December due to a new dangerous variant out of Canada.
Dude, I remember falling asleep on a plane in my mask, and it would like just slide down my giant nose as I was sleeping, so I'd have my nose out, and I'd be yelled awake, "Sir!"
No kidding.
Can you please put it back up?
I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my God.
Along with put your seat up that's already up.
Yeah.
But they went through so hell. They got to even be pushing back against it. Like, you're not going to make us treat adults like children again anyways, like even more than we did before.
I think they're going to.
Well, here's the thing about masks is if you really believe that masks are going to keep you from getting COVID, because they've been proven they're not, you can wear an N95 mask, and that is going to protect you. You don't need anyone else to wear a mask, but you could. So the reason why masking at population level doesn't work isn't because an N95 mask wouldn't work if you used it perfectly for a limited amount of time. But it doesn't. You don't use it perfectly. You use it every day of your life, and then eventually you're going to get COVID because everybody's going to get COVID. Yeah. And so this idea that I can mask myself for the rest of my life, it's like masking yourself so you don't get a cold or a flu for the rest of your life. You can maybe try it. It ain't going to work. And you might be able to delay it, maybe. But again, the whole idea is that's how you want to live your life. So before COVID, it was universally accepted. It was the settled science that you can't use a mask for an airborne virus like this. It was that was when Fauci actually told the truth. And then he backtracked and lied and said you have to wear a mask, even though there was never any science behind it. Why? Because he uses fear to scare people into compliance. And masks make everyone afraid, just like lockdowns and everything else. And they lied to you about the virility of the virus and all that stuff. But so he's predicting, you're saying that Alex Jones is predicting.
He came out of the gate first.
He's got a source that says they're going to mandate masks again. And now what? And then immediately all those news stories came out. So he said this, and then we're like, oh, well, how does he know? He's making it up. That's what people think. And then 2 days later, all these stories are about, hey, the COVID is coming back, and it's back. And so again, people like to Alex Jones is way more accurate than MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News. That's for sure. And I mean, those people just they told us that COVID. They told us all the COVID lies, and they told us all the RussiaGate lies, and they're currently telling us all the Ukraine lies.
He has a better record than all of them.
He has a much better record. Alex Jones has a much better record than all of them. And so I bet you, I wouldn't put it past him if he did have inside information, and he does know something about this.
So I remember my friend on the phone said, well, he saw the thing wasn't true and it hurt people. And I go, oh, really? Did we go to war and kill a million people in another country? Lie? Or somebody's feelings were hurt and then they won a case? Unbelievable.
And listen, like, I think your theory on the mask are the same what it is on the vaccine. If you think it's going to protect you, you take it, but you don't have to force anybody else to do it. You want to wear it, you wear it. But you know what's never ever talked about? The risk versus the reward when it comes to masks. Maybe it's beneficial. It might help you where your spit won't go out. You might not give it to them. But there's a lot of illnesses that come from a mask. If you're breathing in your schmutz all day, you're going to get sick. That's why pneumonias went through the roof.
That's right. Bacterial infections. There's
terrible.
Lots of unintended.
And the communication skills for the kids.
There's so
really screwed them up, and nobody talks about that.
There's so many bad side effects to masking, and people. And Fauci was right. He said there's unintended consequences. You keep touching your face, so you're getting shit on your face all the time, and then you're breathing in. You get back. It's not good.
Leanna Wen, when she was telling people we need to encourage people to get the vaccine or take away their freedoms, and then she talked about I should have never masked my kid up because something happened with my kid. He had a tick or something. So I mean, we never talk about risk versus reward of that.
Remember when people used to blame emojis in hip hop for making kids talk like morons? Yes. It turns out masks.
It was masks.
None of it compared to the damage of masking the children.
None of it.
Nobody's got a voice like Alex Jones, so take a listen to him what he has to say about this whole situation. Listen, when he gets it right, he gets it right.
Let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got a call yesterday. An individual was in town, and they wanted to meet with me that I know well, and they are a high-level manager in the TSA.
He's really losing his hair.
And I went and met with him, and had a cup of coffee with him. And they said, you got to warn people.
Put some
Tuesday, we got called in, the managers,
I like cinnamon on my coffee.
And told that by the middle of September, that the new policy is being written, that this is done. They were told this is happening. This is not hypothetical. You will all have to wear masks again, and so will airport employees.
Come on.
Then by the middle of October, they are going to say that everyone flying has to wear masks.
No, come on.
And in the meetings, people began to ask them, well, I mean, why is this happening? They said, well, because of the new variant in Canada.
No.
And because of the WHO, they may, declare this. But regardless, we've been told this is going to happen.
So, and then he makes that. Oh, is there more to this?
There's more.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
And then
he did that.
They were told, we expect by December a return to the full COVID protocol of 2020, 2021.
No.
And I was given many more details. I wrote down notes on it.
I mean, I'm sure that guy told him that, maybe that guy told him that.
I hope that he's just a fool and
left.
not right. I certainly hope so.
Called the first federal connection that I was thinking of. Didn't answer. Called the second. Answered.
Oh.
Told them what I've been told. And they said, what day was that? I said, Tuesday. They said, yep, we were told yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday was Thursday, so it's Wednesday. Expect COVID protocols to begin rolling out middle of September.
No.
And I said, what else were you told? Basically that they believe this new variant's super bad and that they're doing the testing and that they should just get ready for a whole new rollout of what happened before. And this was Border Patrol connected people I was talking to, and testing at the border again in the whole shooting match. That's 2 federal agents that told me this yesterday.
Oh, here's the...
And then I went and looked at the news, and there they were saying Canada's looking at new restrictions again because of the variant, and so is the EU. And what did the Russians just put out 3 days ago? U.S. is plotting another pandemic. Russian head of the defense ministry warns.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Now, new lockdowns will starve the third world. New lockdowns will destroy small businesses. New lockdowns will take the average person that's already $5,000 in the hole and their paycheck is just on time. We'll put them into full bankruptcy. And the children in the mask and the attempt to push a new shot for the new variant. And we're right back in the same hellhole we were in just a few years ago. And why is it perfect timing? Because you go into the election year.
There you
go. And the last crisis go over 2.5 years. They'll bare minimum run this through the next election. It's only 14, 15 months out with mail-in ballots again.
Mass mail.
We have all the eyewitnesses and testimony that they'd get the mail-in ballots, and in some cases they were 99% for Joe Biden. Okay. Who believes that? U.S. Postal Service whistleblowers, USPS.
So
poll watching witnesses. I have it all here. We'll play it next hour.
He's tying it into the election.
Yeah.
He's saying this is because of the
they want to roll all this stuff out so they can do what they did in the last mass mail-out ballots, where we got to protect you, so we have to mail it out to emergency measures.
Mail-in ballots, they're not secure. I don't know.
Not at all. There's no chain of custody whatsoever on those things. No, you can take those. You can put them in a Dropbox. Plus, we have ballot harvesting, meaning you can collect as many ballots as you want in the state of California. Half the states have it, and you can turn them into a Dropbox out in the middle of nowhere. So there's zero chain of custody.
Do you think that makes sense? That do you think this connection, like they're going to reorder, and you think it's for this purpose that he says?
I don't know if it's for the purpose he says, but if they do it for the purpose he says, it makes it a lot easier for them to then get out the mass mail-outs. In other words, the emergency measures they can use, they can say we can mail out ballots to everybody on the voters' polls because we have a COVID situation and we have to protect everybody. So we have to mail out ballots to everyone. That's what they did last time. That's why they had so many votes this last time. So that's what he's talking about again. And this is about the time, if they start doing it, they'll get to that point where they'll have to do these emergency measures for the election.
Well, I will say this. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out. Honest, this is going to be interesting, see how this plays out. But the fact that they're willing to push an obvious, demented person on us to run the world, he's obviously not. He can't even speak a sentence. That you would put anything past those people? I wouldn't put anything past those people. Would you?
At this point, there's no depraved thing that you could imagine
that they wouldn't do.
Right. Like, it's just a matter of, do they have the ability to do it or not?
Yeah.
Because they're going to do absolutely
Look, they did
anything.
They did Jeffrey Epstein's island. That was the establishment that did that. That's the CIA. That's the FBI. They did that, and that's how they. And who do you think the CIA works for? You think they work for the president? Donald Trump proved that they don't. They work for the establishment, for the oligarchy. They work for those guys, the richest guys in the world. They don't. They work for big business and Wall Street. They don't work for the government. The government works for them, and Trump proved that. And that's what Russiagate was. Remember, Chuck Schumer admitted it. He said even as president, he's being really silly to mess with the intelligence community because they have 6 ways of Sunday to get back at you. And that's what this is proving. Anyway.
Yeah, that was great hearing a senator say that openly.
On television. And he didn't think there would be anything bad to say. Anyway, so that's called a gaffe, Kurt. That's when you tell the truth in Washington, D.C., and that's what Chuck Schumer did, and that was a gaffe. He was letting everybody know that the president is a puppet of the intelligence community. Yep. So then who does the intelligence community...
That was comforting.
Who do they really work for? They really work for the Wall Street and the military-industrial complex. That's who they work for. That's why every war we've ever gone to has been for a corporation's interests. That's what this is all about, and it always will be.
It's called synergy.
And so if they have to rig an election to make sure their corporatocracy keeps going, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. All wars are bankers' wars, by the way. And,
you think they would do? Do you think the people who would do Iraq war, do COVID lockdowns, and make up all that stuff they made up about COVID, they wouldn't do something like that? They wouldn't try to throw an election? They're trying to throw an election by imprisoning the one guy they know they can't beat at the ballot box. They're doing it right out in the open. They don't care. I wouldn't put anything past these people. And anybody who says you're crazy to think that they would rig an election, they're rigging an election right now by criminalizing their political opponents. That's what's called fascism. That's called dictatorship.
Running the media to teach you to moo like a cow on command. That's a rigging. The Hawaii not getting any of the benefits they need.
That's right.
And that's like even Katrina, they reported on that. You know?
Even Katrina, they reported on it.
Well, the clip you saw of RT that was up on the screen with Fiorella talking there, they just did a piece on it, Russia Today, where they're talking about now the Russian government is blaming the United States government for coming out with these bioweapons and releasing them and working with Big Pharma. A whole big report came out. Oh, no. They presented it to the UN now. So that's it's getting caught up with the point that they're pointing to the United States like, we know you did this. Part of the whole biolabs in Ukraine, which, Putin took out almost immediately.
They're not weapons biolabs. They're just biolabs we're very afraid Russia might get their hands on. Then they'll have all the cures we were making.
Yes. That's great.
What if they get it and then they have the cures to bad diseases?
Hey, come see us on Live on Tour. We're doing a show in New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Connecticut, Toledo, Rochester, Michigan. That's just outside of Detroit. St. Louis, Tampa, Florida, Boca Raton, Florida, and Orlando, Florida. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.